pro wrestling junkies, and welcome to another episode of Toilet Side Wrestling Talk. Today we have a returning guest who's still from Chicago. Since we last spoke, she's worked for Zello Pro, OVW, Berwyn Championship Wrestling, Lucha Libre, Total Chicago, and has shared the ring with likes of Sky Blue, Stacy Shadows, Prince Harry's wife Meghan Merkel, Blair Onyx, New York Jets legendary quarterback Joe Namath, and Jay Raves. So please, let's welcome back today's guest, someone who's still working diligently with her attorneys on getting American Idol Season 2 results overturned. Chicago sweetheart, Missa Kate. Missa Kate, how are you?
Good. How are you? That's an intro right there.
Well, you know, you've been around since the last time we spoke.
Yeah.
Do people call you Kate?
Yeah, actually. I was surprised. I mean, I wasn't surprised because I grew up playing sports. Mm-hmm. So I'm so used to people calling me by my last name. Like, I think it's a weird sport thing. I don't know if areas do it. But once I got to wrestling and everyone was like, call me Kate, I'm like, that's not my name. But I'm like, I don't care either way.
Yeah.
But I was like, are you guys calling me Kate because you don't know how to say Missa? Because people say like Missa, or they pronounce it different.
Yeah.
But it's Miss Kate. They don't pay attention to the A being there.
Yeah, just ignore that.
Yeah, so they're like, oh, it's not there.
It's close enough. Maybe she won't think that.
Yeah, I was too lazy to say the other part. But so that's because I've had people say that to me, but I'm like, whatever. Your reasoning is it's okay. I'm gonna answer to it.
Did you ever try out like a different name early on?
For wrestling, no. I don't know. No, I don't even think I had an idea for another name.
When you were a kid, did you ever think of a name you would use one day?
Oh yeah.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah. So my favorite color is green.
Okay.
And so Shotzi's character with the green hair and everything, kind of what I wanted to go for as a kid.
Okay.
I love green. Like, her hair is my favorite color. And I told her that my first match with her, and my first match ever, I was like, sounds weird, but green's my favorite color, so I think this is a good thing right here. Like,
oh, yeah, totally.
So, I'm like, this is like a sign that everything's going to go okay, I think.
Yeah, totally. Your career is going in the right direction.
Oh, thank you. But, no, yeah, so my character was like Miss Green or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was just gonna be like this, I don't want to say like Shotzi, but like there's an independent wrestler by the name of Mischief.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're
totally
familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I found her, I was like, oh, she's so cool. So it'd be like kind of like in the realm of like Mischief Shotzi kind of.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that was like when I was younger, that's what I thought of. But I'm like, I can't dye my hair because it'll fall out, so.
Wait, what do you mean it'll fall out? Dyeing your hair kills your hair?
Yeah, so like my hair is weird. It changes colors with the seasons. But
wow.
I like as far as.
Are you part chameleon?
Yes, actually.
Okay, now that makes sense. Go on. I'm sorry, not perfect sense.
But in the summer it gets like lighter blonde, not a light blonde, but it gets blonder, and then in the winter, like it looks brown. But yeah, so I like it blonde. So it sucks because every time I get a blonde, it like thins my hair out.
Oh,
and my hair's
really?
really thin. Yeah, so I'm like, I wouldn't be able to go green. Like when I did the Lita red hair, it like destroyed my hair. So I was like,
So are there people like who do people dye their hair weekly? How often does someone dye their hair?
So it depends. Usually I know monthly is like the regular thing for like touch-ups and stuff. Because I know how my hair is, I usually get it done once, and I try to, like how I'm letting it do, like grow out, cut that part off, and then dye it, so it's kind of like a whole new head of hair in a sense.
Yeah. So if someone did that for like 10 years, would their like hair eventually look like harvested corn?
Possibly,
like dead?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I've known older women, yes.
Oh God, is that a worry amongst women to one day go bald?
I think so. Any girl that I talk to. I mean, I have a very awkward shaped head, so I'm not looking at it. bald, yeah. So it's like a really big fear for me where some girls, like, they have the cute little peanut heads. I'm like, oh, God. Like, I'm screwed.
You have human head envy. So I had bought 10 Krispy Kremes, or excuse me, 6, okay? And I was going to eat all 6. But I decided when I woke up this morning that I was going to make a pot roast for dinner. And I think that if I ate all 6, it's the perfect storm for ruining my weekend. So I may jump in from time to time. But I also have a napkin, so, because I'm a gentleman and I have manners. So with Christmas coming up, what's your typical Christmas compared to what's going to really happen this year?
So, I mean, typical Christmas, so my family's never really been big on holidays. Like, we'll try to get together and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we're never like, I know there's like families that have like all these crazy traditions and whatnot. Just for whatever reason, we never really were that family, which I'm not mad at. I kind of like it because it makes it less pressure on me and everybody, I feel like. That, like, we're family, but it's cool if we don't get together every single holiday. You know what I mean?
Totally. Is Christmas one of the holidays you would get together? Or
yeah, so because I do have so my aunt who has in-laws, they're one of those families that like every Christmas, whatever, they love spending it together. They have their traditions. They go to their wherever they go for Christmas. So if she's not doing anything with them and she's free, depending on if it's Christmas Eve or Christmas, and depending if she's out of town.
Okay.
Usually when we all get together, when she's free, that's when the whole family gets together.
Oh, well, you can DM me the address after this. But would you wrestle on Christmas Day? You've no objections to that?
No, it was actually funny. I was just asking my, we're trying to figure out if there's going to be practice on Christmas Eve, because I'm like, I'm totally down to practice. You
might as well. You're like a Jewish person like me. I'll do anything on Christmas Eve, whatever. I resent that there's no stores open on Christmas.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, I might have to work, but yeah.
Well, Walgreens I know because I always go there every Christmas. It's a good place to go. What about? Are you a New Year's Eve partier?
I like celebrate. I like the whole idea of this year's gone. New Year's gonna bring new.
Yeah.
Whatever. Maybe it's just, I know people don't believe in it, but I'm like, you don't believe in it, it's fine. You have your own things to believe in. For me, it's like I won't say therapeutic, but it's kind of like, I guess in a sense it is, yeah.
Like this is over, I can start fresh.
Yes, yeah. Like it's almost like I'm mentally making a clean slate. In a way.
Totally. Now, but is this year? Are you doing anything? Like I imagine you can't go out to like bars and parties, really.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I don't know. I haven't. I'm not gonna lie. None of my friends or anything. We haven't really talked about if we're doing anything or whatever.
It'll be something very informal.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we usually do anyway. But yeah.
So I've mentioned before that you're from Chicago. I've also mentioned it's the greatest city in the world. I trust that you feel that way. What's your second favorite city in the world?
Ooh, good question. I don't know. I like going. I've been to California a couple times.
Okay.
I don't know specifically.
Could you live there?
Now those prices.
Yeah, totally. It's insane.
Yeah, right. It's freaking. Oh, it's insane. Like I thought Illinois was bad. I'm like.
Yeah.
It's pretty intense. But where is it that Disney's at?
Orlando. Oh, in California?
Yeah. Is it start with an A?
Anaheim.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah. So I like that area over there because it's Disney, but I feel like it's a very chill area.
Have you spent a lot of time out there?
So not a lot of time, but like I've been to Disney a couple of times, fortunately.
A couple times.
Yeah, I've been really I've been to both Florida and California. I'm very.
You're a big Disney fan, or you just like the Magic Kingdom?
I haven't. I mean, I like all of it, but it was when I was a kid. So I'm an only child. So I got
Okay.
spoiled by my aunts and whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had my mom. She's the youngest of 4, but she was the first one to have a kid, and I was the only kid on her side of the family for like, I want to say 13 years or so.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was like, yeah. So I got spoiled. So, but yeah, so I like going to Disney. The last time I went was like, I don't know, like 5 years ago or something like that, and it wasn't the best experience. But
I went to the Disney store about a year ago, and the lady at the register told me that the force is strong in me. And I thought, and then as I left, she told me to have a magical day. I was like, oh, thank you. That's a nice thing to say.
Right? Yeah, I wish people talk like this all the time. I wish I go to like,
totally.
like you said, Walgreens. I wish I go to Walgreens and someone just be like, have a magical day. I'd be like, thank you.
Yeah, it's so genuine. I was like really impressed.
Yeah.
So did you do, and are you currently doing kickboxing?
So no, not right now. I did do kickboxing for a little over a year.
Okay. Did that help at all?
Yeah, 100%. It helps with a lot of like controlling, I guess. And I was fortunate again that my instructor or master, whatever you want to call him, because it was a kickboxing mixed with the Taekwondo place.
Okay.
He actually is a Marine. He's just, they don't need him currently, so that's why he's home. Yeah. And I think he's like a double or triple line black belt or something like that. He's insane.
Wow.
But yeah, so he taught me, and I told him like I like the grappling and judo and stuff like that. He showed me some stuff in that area, and I tried it. I've tried using it in the ring, and I got to get back to that because I miss doing stuff like that. But he's someone that I always go to and be like, hey, I want to try to do something cool. Can you help me come up with something like that? I don't know. I just like grappling and like fighting styles and stuff like that. So I like making stuff look intense. So he'll try to work with me, try to be like, okay, well, I know you could do this. How about this? And like, we'll play around with stuff.
So you can go in and actually like plot it out?
Yeah. Like he has his own, dojo. So like, I'll be like, hey, can you help me come up with like a cool, that's how I came up with my finisher was from kickboxing. So I'm like, hey, like I need kind of kicks or like striking or like holds or something like that. So we'll try to like play around, and he'll give me some ideas, and then I'll try to make it wrestling. I gotta, make it wrestling. So
do you ever come out of there like, oh my God, I can't wait to use this?
Yeah.
And how often do you like add to your repertoire?
So I kind of just started doing it more this year.
Okay.
Because I think for the first years I was kind of just like finding my bearings and wrestling, like trying to understand a match as a whole. And kind of just like getting familiarized with having matches and whatnot and working different people. Where now I'm like, okay, I could focus on me. I could focus on, all right, what does Missa Kate do in the ring and whatnot. So that's kind of where I am now. So now I'm starting to think further into like and add more to my repertoire.
Yeah. Is it like, I imagine it's probably been stressful during COVID and everything, but is it stressful like trying to book your week, like have your schedule filled up? Like in a typical year for wrestling?
So pre-COVID or during COVID?
Both.
Okay, so I would say, it's Chicago. So there's literally probably, it's weird if there's not a show over the weekend.
Yeah, seriously.
So fortunately, like, there were a lot of like Friday, Saturday, Sunday bookings. If not Friday, then it would be like Saturday, Sunday. Sometimes it would be Thursday through Sunday.
Oh, wow.
So that was like pre-COVID. Now it's kind of like, it was going to, when stuff started opening back up a little bit, when we're like, okay, we're kind of in the clear now and stuff through the subtle, it started for me, like I was starting to have like a couple matches a month, or I was getting booked. And then, everything like spiked and everyone freaked out again. So we're like, oh, we can't do it anymore. So a lot of more shows canceled. So it's kind of like, if anything, for me, it's been a lot of like, oh, okay, you want to work this show? I'm like, okay. Oh, we got to cancel. So that's kind of and that's the story for a lot of people because obviously every state's different between Wisconsin, Indiana, all that stuff. So
every hour things could change.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry I'm all over the place. But do
that's okay. That's my brain 24/7.
do most professional wrestlers take acting classes?
I've heard they do, and I definitely been told to do so.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. Not in like a mean way, but
not being this girl's a marble mouth.
Yeah, right. You're like, oh, she sucks, dude. But yeah, just to because I've always been a jock. So growing up, I've always been in athletics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I did do some acting classes growing up, but it was one of the, and it's not to discredit the place, but it was one of those places that was just like a family-owned business. Like they had like a million things going on in that studio, and it was kind of, it was. I needed more advanced class, pretty much.
Sure.
So nothing against them, like they were sweet and wonderful and all that stuff, but it just wasn't what I needed.
Yeah.
So it didn't really help.
Do you feel like you need it?
Yeah, yes and no, because if anything, I want to like improv.
Totally.
Yeah, improv stuff would be more beneficial to me. Not that I'm like I think I just have such a sour taste in my mouth from the acting classes I did do. So I'm like I'm just like it was just like the monologues. I'm like, it was, maybe that's something that needs to be done for an actor that I'm not aware of, but I'm like, we read stuff that was like what's his name, like Shakespeare. Like we'd have to go memorize this, like, yeah, exactly. Shakespeare, come back and act it out in our own way. And I'm just like, at the time I was like around 10 or something like that, 10, 11. I'm like, I don't even understand what he's saying. Like,
who speaks like this?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, yeah, I have no idea. Yeah. So stuff like that. And I was just like, I don't know. I put a sour taste in my mouth, but I got to get over it. But, but yeah, so I think I want to do like improv stuff because I did have a friend who was an actor and he did improv classes. And we worked together, so he would talk to me about some stuff here and there. And I was like, oh wow, like that's cool how I guess they teach it. Like he wouldn't because he's like, it's hard to explain. You have to be in it to understand it. But like some of the stuff that he would tell me, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So yeah, so I'm like, and that makes sense. So we would where we worked, we were rec leaders at a park district. So we would have like a group of kids to watch throughout the day for summer camp.
Sure.
And we'd have like different locations as far as like, okay, you got to be here for an hour, and then after this hour you go here, and then blah 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 blah. Your schedule for the day. So this one room that we would have, we had the oldest boys that were 10 to 13.
Okay.
So we're like, what are we gonna do with them? Because they're around that age where they're like, I don't know anything. I can't sit and color, and that's kind of the room that we were in. It was like a play school area. So like they're not like sitting in a coloring book. Some of them did, which is awesome, but I'm like, a lot of them were just like, I don't want to be in here.
Yeah, totally.
And so that's one of the ideas that he actually came up with. He was like, hey, do you mind, like, because we tried to figure out together as a team, like, oh, do you do this with the kids? Like, we were the parents. It was kind of funny. But he's like, oh, do you mind if we tried doing this, like an improv skit or whatever? And we would do that in that room, so it would be fun.
Oh, cool.
And I found out about it and whatnot, and that's how we got into that. But yeah, I was like, if this is how it is, I'd totally be down. Like, there's like the Netflix show that has 3 episodes. I can't remember the name of it. It's like something in Smith or something like that. 2 guys that do improv.
Oh yeah, one of the guys was on the show Parks and Rec.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen 2 of the episodes.
Yeah.
It's fun.
My God, so funny. Yeah, and I'm like, they make me want to do it. So yeah, definitely in the future, I want to do some improv classes.
And their minds move so quickly.
I know. I'm like, it's insane. And
Mhm.
I don't know which two did you watch, but
The first two.
Okay, so the second one, how it's funny how they went completely off the rails, and they're like, I don't know, who am I? Who's over there? And oh shit! But it's like cool watching them try to find it and
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like play with each other and make up other stuff. But yeah, it's just
It's
like
an amazing talent to have.
yeah, and it's fun.
All right, I'm going to ask you. Does the term when you hear intergender match, is that offensive? No. Okay. Um, did you think of intergender matches differently before you took part in them than as you do now?
No, because I grew up like idolizing Lita.
Mm-hmm.
So I pretty much idolized somebody who was always in an intergender scenario.
Sure.
So to me, it was normal. I was like that's what made me think she was cool, because I'm like, she gets in there with the guys, because I'm like, that's, as like a kid growing up, I'm like, that's what I would do with my older guy cousins.
Yeah, I bet.
The guy friends and stuff. We would just joke around and play fight. So yeah, I was like, oh, that's badass. So that's why I thought it was cool now, especially thank God, like on the indies.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's cool that that's becoming more normal, and it's not necessarily, it is like an attraction, but it's still becoming more normalized now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially over like the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm very excited.
And you know, it's funny because maybe 2 years or 3 years ago, I would, intergender matches, I'm like, oh, it's so gimmicky, like that, without even giving it a chance. Yeah. Now I watch them just like any wrestling match. It doesn't matter who's in there.
Plus, like back then too, I feel like for like previously, it was always like either the guy just like annihilates the chick, or like it was like a weird.
Yeah, like you knew what the outcome.
That's why that's why I put like a sour taste in everyone's mouth. I think because it was new one, and then like I think people were trying to figure it out how to do it properly and stuff like that. So
yeah, I agree. Do you remember every single one of your matches?
I want to say yes, but I'm pretty sure I'd be lying.
So, like, if I throw out a name to you, I'm not going to, but if I throw it to you, would you know if you've wrestled that person? Like,
yeah,
100%. And if I said a name that you haven't wrestled, you'd know that as well?
I'd hope so, yes.
Okay. And if I said a name, would you know where you wrestled this person and when?
Hopefully, I should.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
So, okay. Out of all these matches, can you literally pick just one match as like what you think was your best match? Or is that hard it's just like picking like what child you love more? Which my kids ask me all the time. Great.
I know, it's like, oh, we love you all the same.
I'm like, I told you last week, I love your brother more. Why you keep asking me this? It drives them crazy.
Yeah, because that's hilarious to me. Like if I were a parent, I'd switch every week between the
Oh yeah, totally. I love when they ask me now.
I'd be like, I don't know. Jimmy did his short first.
Did you guys not listen to me? I told you. Yeah. I like him more. I've known him longer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go on.
No, you're okay. No, but I like different ones for different reasons. So like, one of my favorite matches was the She-Lance match, which happened in Chicago, in Logan Square, which Logan Square is like a huge area I knew to be at, to wrestle at. Especially in Chicago, like it's I think it's a big deal.
No, I do too. I lived in the last part of town I lived in was Lincoln Square before I moved out here.
Oh, awesome! So you're from.
Yes.
But but yeah, and like I'd tell like other people like that weren't wrestling fans, I was like, oh yeah, I wrestled at like Logan Square. They're like, oh, that's so cool. So I'm like, so it's not just me. It is like kind of a cool deal.
Yeah.
Anyway, so She-Lance, freelance, when it was like
Yeah, no.
But it was like the first ever 6-woman scramble. I think on the, I want to say on the independent scene. I could be wrong, but I want to say that was the first one of like. So it was like, it was just such like a hype match, and like being in the ring and feeling that energy was so like, that was the first time I felt a crowd like literally like, it was almost like good pressure, I guess.
Yeah. Did you have like a lot of your non-wrestling friends there?
No, because those shows sell out so quick.
Oh, okay.
They sell out so quick. So I'm like, plus I'm like, most of my friends, not that they wouldn't come see me because friends are they're my friends, so they're like, oh, we'll support you. But they're not like wrestling fanatics like me.
Mm-hmm.
So they wouldn't they wouldn't get it because they'd be excited for me, but they're not people that go religiously to my show.
Yeah, they'd go one time to see you maybe. What about like, does your mom watch your matches?
Yeah, and then she always asks me after, are you done now?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Has she come to a show?
Yeah, it's crazy. I remember the match I had with Brubaker.
Okay.
She was, I want to say it wasn't that she wasn't happy, but she wasn't excited about it. She came, she watched it, and I remember at some point in the match just looking at her, and I could tell she's like holding her breath because she's not smiling. There's like no emotion on her face. She's just like, because I told her, I was like, you're gonna freak out, and I look over and you're just like freaking out crying or something. I'm like, I'm gonna be like, no, like I'm gonna like.
Were you thinking about her the entire match?
My grandma was there.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. My grandma was there. She's someone too. She's all the time. She's like, she loves to go to support me. Like she's done it with all like growing up.
Yeah.
Like any sporting event and stuff she's tried to be at, or she would be at. So that's the kind of person that she is. She's a good grandma. So
that's a great grandma.
Yeah, she's so cute. I give her a kiss after the match.
Oh, you're lucky you have that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's like an awesome moment to me too. But yeah, so I'm like, it's definitely in my head. I was like, because I'm like, I have to perform in front of a crowd that paid, with the main event. So I'm like, you guys paid to watch us. So I'm like, I got to give my best. But then I'm like, I got to make sure I don't, because I'm like, my mom, she knows if I'm like in pain. So I'm like, I either can't, I have to show pain, but I can't show, like, it was like a mind.
Yeah. But so she doesn't, do you think you perform better without her?
No, because it was just that match. I think we had to go over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And well, I mean, until I do like a street fight or something, then I'm.
Does she think that this is a phase?
Like
a long phase?
Did originally. I think she wants it to be a phase, honestly. Because I'm in school also. So
what are you studying in school?
Right now I'm getting my bachelor's in rehab science.
Oh, geez. How much longer do you have?
Well, a while. My goal is to be a physical therapist.
Okay.
So for that, you need a doctorate. But with that, I also want to be a certified athletic trainer. Because to me, I'm like, oh, it'd be cool for like the local talent over here.
Yeah.
We need somebody that's going to be willing to be an athletic trainer. And
it's really practical.
Yeah. So I was like, I'd totally do it. So it's weird. No matter what I do, it somehow ties into wrestling. But
whatever.
Yeah, but I was like, so after I get my bachelor's, I'm gonna go get my master's for athletic training.
Okay.
And then after that, go to get my doctorates in physical therapy.
So you're wrestling school and working.
Yeah.
Do you so during COVID? Have you been able to have any time to pick up a hobby? Or binge watch a lot of TV? So
because of COVID, I lost my previous job.
Okay.
I was put on furlough.
Okay. Oh God.
For 6 to 7 months or something like that. Yeah. So I kind of had a lot of free time because school was just online.
Mm-hmm.
And wrestling, there was no wrestling for a long period. So I literally, all I did was I can't tell you, I've rewatched that 70s show, Friends, freaking, yeah. I Love Lucy, so I watched that again.
Wait, where can you watch I Love Lucy reruns?
On Hulu.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I had no idea. I recently was telling my wife, when I would fake sick to stay home from school when I was a little boy, Oh yeah, I'd watch that all the time. I Love
like
Lucy.
Channel 23.
Yeah,
Was,
yeah,
yeah.
totally.
Yeah, exactly. That was anytime I was sick, that's what I would watch. Is I just like watch me TV. So like the Twilight Zone would come on, Perry Mason, like whatever the cowboy show was. So totally. I'm because of my grandparents, so I watched it.
Yeah. So, question for you: What's your biggest expense for your wrestling career?
Gear.
Gear. Do you have something that's like more prized to you than other pieces that are more like super expensive compared to the other stuff?
Yeah, definitely. Like I design all my gear. Like I draw it out. So,
really?
Yeah. So anything that I've ever worn has come from me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn how to sew because I would prefer to do it myself because nothing against anybody who makes it because
Sure.
I never pronounce it right, but Fiorez, who's Isaiah Velasquez, he makes my gear currently, and or I get gear from him, and a lot of other people in the Chicago area, which I'm sure everybody knows.
Yeah.
But because he has like such a high demand.
Mm-hmm.
There's there's a time in between, and I'm just like me and like all wrestlers are like this too. They're like, when we want new gear, we want it like now.
Yeah,
So,
I was gonna say.
Yeah, like me being impatient, I'm like, I'd rather just learn and try to do it myself. I know I'm not going to be able to, maybe one day, but right now I'm not going to do it as good as him because he's been doing it for years.
Yeah,
and,
but maybe you can get by.
Yeah, so I made a little shorts here and there practicing. So there you go. There's my hobby.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, which I just started doing over quarantine. Yeah.
Well, do you wear things? Because I had a guest. Do you know Paragon?
It sounds familiar. I'm horrible names. I gotta see.
Yeah. Well, he was telling me that he's only worn a piece of ring gear twice at most. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he only will wear it maybe 2 times and then has something else. So that's
crazy.
Yeah, I said that's really expensive. What about with you? Do you have a rotation?
I just kind of, when I want new gear, get new gear.
Okay.
If I could get it, if I could afford it at the time. So like right now, I just the newspaper gear where it's like half newspaper, half white. That's like my favorite as of right now.
Did you sketch that out?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Thank you.
Were you a good artist like growing up?
I would. If you ask me if I'm good at anything, I'm gonna say no.
No, okay, just pretend. Yeah, pretend like no one's around. You're just talking.
I'm freaking.
Yeah, don't worry.
I'm just kidding. No, but I mean, I've always liked drawing. I'll say like I'll be decent at like cartoons and stuff like that. Like I could draw out gear. But I can't. Like if you tell me to like draw a portrait of you, you wouldn't want to see what it would look like.
It would look like an. I'll give you the answer. It would look like an eagle.
Aww.
Okay, that's what it would look like. Do you have like colored pencils?
Yeah, I'm such like a dweeb. Yeah, I have like the acrylic paints and like colored pencils, markers. Yeah.
So do you have to sit down to decide to like sit down and like, all right, I'm going to design something, or is it like when something comes in your head, if you're doing laundry or whatever, and then you like do it like that?
It's both. So it'll be like, I don't know if it's a saying, but I feel like it should be like the best thoughts happen while you're taking a shower. I feel like.
Oh, that's really good. Should send that to Hallmark.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so like I'll just be, my mind's like always going like, so I'm just like shower. I don't go like this, like I wash my hair like this all the time. Yeah. But yeah, so I'll just be like, okay, so like I want to come up with new gear. What about this? Blah, blah, blah. So I'll think of it that way. Or another way is like I'll try to get inspiration. So like I'll go to like look at certain types of fabrics, and like I found the newspaper fabric, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I want to do something with this. So then I'll try to like, and I'll sketch it out, try to figure out what I want. what'll go with it. And like, I'm such like, I'm so, I don't want to say, I mean, I'm controlling, but like, I'm so like, I'm like, I thank God for Izzy's patience.
You're very specific?
Yes, I'm very like, I detail like every little thing. Like, I need to make sure. So before I even send him what I want, I literally will order like little swatches of fabric, put them together to make sure they go.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, okay, I want these 3 fabrics, whatever, in this way. Like, I'll literally draw out the sketch. Like, he'll post sometimes like before and after.
Oh,
so
cool.
Post, like, the sketch. Yeah. So on Instagram, I think he does it. And he'll usually show like the sketch that I sketched out. And
That's
you can see
amazing.
it's very specific as far as like the newspaper gear here and white pearl, whatever, and gear, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's not just like white fabric. It's like,
yeah. Like you
yeah.
The detail, you're down
yeah,
to like the,
I'm like,
does
this
he ever
needs to be
finish
black.
something for you and maybe this happened earlier on and this is why you're like this now. Did he ever finish something for you and you're like, oh, this looks awful?
Yes, but not by him.
Okay. Oh, that was very diplomatic.
Yeah. But there's been some more shows. Yeah.
Is it really? What's a high amount for rain gear? Hundreds.
So I mean, it depends. Everything always depends on the design. Like my design now, obviously, it's very intricate. Like I said, I'm very detailed. So it's going to be a little bit on the pricier side. And then depending on the fabric, and I like when I say I'm detailed, like I look into all that stuff too to make sure I could afford it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like based off the type of fabric and all that other stuff. So, so I will definitely like try not to make sure it's crazy expensive, but generally I'd say for girls 100 or 200 like average.
Oh, okay.
The general range. Again, depending on the design. But most girls, like I have capris where most girls have like shorts and like a sports bra. So it's less fabric, so theirs will still be cheaper than mine.
Okay.
So like stuff like that. It depends on how much fabric. There's a lot that goes into it. But we'll say on the higher end, it'll be closer to the thousands.
Well,
I haven't spent that much. One day maybe when I have money, but I've definitely spent around the $500, $600 range.
And you felt fine with that?
No. It gave me a heart attack. But
geez.
I really want this gear, so
I didn't leave my bed for 3 months afterwards.
Yeah, literally. No, but I was like, I will save up for gear. I'll be like, no, this money's going here. Like,
Like, do I want to eat dinner tonight? No, I could use the money for my gear.
Exactly. Like you like rationalize it. You're like, oh no, I could just, if I don't get this, I could afford like a whole pant length. Like,
so turn off my electricity, whatever. I have matches. All right. I'm going to let you go momentarily. But as before, can I ask you 5 random questions?
Go for it.
Awesome. Okay. Have you ever vomited on New Year's Eve or like on January 1st morning?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
If it was drinking.
I imagine. No, not just because of sadness, but I imagine it was alcohol related.
Yeah.
Have you ever hunted an animal not for sport or consumption? Maybe like
I
revenge?
have not. No, I don't. I tried going. Like I tried going fishing. I can't even put the worm on the hook. Like I felt
yeah. I'm not. It probably doesn't appear this way because I am so rugged and masculine. I don't hunt either. I'm very squeamish. Okay, for $13,000, would you sell the movie rights to your life, but that bitch Carol Baskin from Tiger King would be portraying you?
No.
Okay. Have you ever met a pimp?
Probably. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then finally, have you ever put a dog collar and leash on just to see what it's like?
That's a good question. Honestly, probably like if I was joking around, that sounds like something stupid I would do. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Something stupid you would do. All right.
Yeah.
Good to know. Okay. I have a little Christmas present for your pocketbook, your checking account.
Okay.
Because I love parody like shirts and everything.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Oh, no way.
Picked up one of your shirts at the Thanksgiving sale at PWT, and I'm like, oh, I can show this to her, the next time she comes on. So I hope it made you a few dollars, a couple shekels.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely towards the gear.
Yeah, exactly, totally.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that one string. I think I may have paid for that.
Yeah,
that thread.
Yep. So my next gear, that's what it's gonna be. I helped with that. There you go. Yeah.
Okay, so do you have bookings already for 2021?
Yes, but again, it's funny like you mentioned that because today already there's what I thought was gonna be in January. They're like, oh, we gotta push it back to like March now, and I was like, okay. So I'm like, I've talked to a couple companies, and it's just a matter of I get everyone right now is like in a tough spot, like money-wise, and I'm like, I was for the longest time, so I had to keep saying no because I'm like, I can't afford to go there. I'm like, I can't do it because I was out of a job. And now I'm working, so I'm like, I could be more flexible with like pricing and whatnot. But hopefully, I mean, I'm gonna try. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I'll just go for free, I swear.
But you imagine there will be a point in 2021 that you're wrestling?
Yes, 100%.
All right, awesome. Well, I hope you have a good Friday night. I'm sure you're going to a rave. You may be on ecstasy right now. I don't know. But it didn't seem like you were. You held yourself together. Anyways, but thank you so much again for coming on twice. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you have a healthy and fun new year, and I will be in touch.
Thank you. And you have no idea what a great mood you having Krispy Kreme as your background has like put me in. So.
Oh, good. Oh, nice. It did something good today.
It's a good weekend. So thank you for that.
My pleasure. All right, Kate, take care.
You too.